Hi everyone, this is i3 Jack. I'm back with another great training product from i3 Tutorials. This one's going to focus on the Lagoa multiphysics simulation engine that's a part of Softimage. I'm using Softimage 2012 Service Pack 1, which as of the time of this recording is the latest version of Softimage. Now, a couple of versions back, Softimage started to include the Lagoa multiphysics simulation engine, which is built on ice and was created by Tiago Costa, which is a very, very talented computer graphics artist, to say the least. You can look up his stuff on the internet, just do a quick search, and you'll find some pretty impressive things he's worked on. So this is one of the latest creations of his, and it's all a part of ice. It's actually built into ice. Now, one important thing I want to make a note of here, this is not a beginner to ice tutorial. It's not an introduction to ice tutorial. I've already created an introduction beginner tutorial to ice, and you can find it on our website. It's the one with the image of the flamethrower, volume 1. That one takes you step by step, and it's an introduction to ice for people who have never worked with ice, have never worked with a visual programming interface before, and are just totally new to it. Okay? You're expected to already be at an intermediate level. You're expected to already know how to use Softimage to a pretty good degree, and you're expected to already be familiar with ice to about an intermediate level. Okay, so this tutorial is meant for 3D artists who have heard of Lagoa, have just gotten the latest version of Softimage, have never used Lagoa, or maybe they fiddled around with it at most, but need to learn how to use Lagoa, need to learn the ins and outs, technical details, as well as the artistic workflows to get stuff done that looks good and get it done as quickly and as easily and efficiently as possible. So if you're a 3D artist who knows what you're doing, but you need to get up to speed with Lagoa, understand how to use it, and you already know how to use ice, but this is something new that you need to learn, then this is the perfect training for you. Okay? So with that said, I have a scene open up here. We're actually going to be working on this during this training product. It's going to be one of the example projects we're going to be working on here. Okay? It may look a little bit cliched, but it does a very good job of showing off what Lagoa can do, and it's a great project for getting acquainted with Lagoa, understanding how to work with the fluid system and all the different parameters and materials and things like that. Lagoa is a multi-physics engine that's built with ice, so it's all completely integrated. It's not like a third-party plugin that you have to install and fiddle around with different things to get it set up. It's all part of Softimage. It's built in, completely integrated. So the main thing here is I'm going to be using this layout that you see right here throughout this entire training product. This is an ice tree layout. It's a very ice-friendly layout. Basically, you got a top view here, shows you your viewport, very useful. So you got your Explorer over here on the left, which we're going to be using quite a bit, and then down here you've got the ice tree view, which can also be opened up using Alt and 9. But we've already got it here, so we don't have to open it up. And it's extremely useful. We're going to be loading up stuff here, so if I select one of these point clouds, I refresh the ice tree, you can see I've already got some ice trees set up here working with Lagoa. So Lagoa is actually a part of ice, so you work with it through ice. There's different Lagoa compounds and things. I'm also going to be working with the ice menu toolset that you can see up here. If you look carefully, you'll notice that in all of these menus, like the Create Particles menu, you notice there's a whole subsection here of Lagoa Particles specific options and tools over here. Okay, if you go to After Emission, you'll notice there's a subsection of Lagoa Particles menu items there as well. You also notice same thing for Collision. Lagoa Particles has some specific stuff down there. There's quite a few different Lagoa tools that we can use from the ice toolbar, so I'm going to be using the ice toolbar a lot during this training. So that's pretty much it. One thing that most people might be confused by, people who haven't used Lagoa yet or are not very experienced with it, Lagoa, a lot of people think it's just for doing fluids. It's not. It's a multi-physics engine, as the name suggests. So you can do all kinds of things. You can do rubbery things, you can do dirt, piles of dirt, you can do mud, you can do wine, like in this example here, you can do water, you can do paste like toothpaste or ketchup or some kind of thick fluid like that. You can make a simulation of honey, molasses, syrup. You can also do cloth. You can do some cloth deformation, stuff like that. There's a lot of things you can do with Lagoa, and pretty much it's up to you and your imagination. You're limited by your own imagination as to what you can achieve with Lagoa. I can't possibly cover every single potential example out there of how to use Lagoa. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do my best to teach you the tools so you understand them. I'm going to show you examples so that it makes sense from a production point of view. And then from there on, you'll just have to take everything you learned and play with Lagoa and come up with some cool effects. You can do realistic stuff, like this example here, or you can do completely stylized stuff. It's really up to you. So I'm going to end this video here, and in the next one, we're going to go ahead and get started, and we're going to build our first Lagoa effect.